A chill wind howled through the ancient halls of Aachen, a mournful dirge that seemed to echo the foreboding whispers of the age. It was within these hallowed walls that Charlemagne, the great emperor, had forged a realm of iron and faith. But now, centuries had passed, and the empire, once a monolithic force, was splintered like glass. Among the remnants of this shattered crown, a young man named Eudes emerged. His lineage traced back to the noble houses of Aquitaine, a bloodline steeped in the legends of Charlemagne's peers. Yet, Eudes was no mere dreamer lost in the mists of history. He was a man of action, his heart aflame with a burning desire to restore the empire to its former glory. Rumors of a hidden chronicle, a document said to contain the secrets of Charlemagne's power, ignited Eudes' resolve. It was said that within its pages lay the key to uniting the fractured kingdom, a blueprint for a new empire. But the path to this legendary tome was shrouded in mystery, guarded by shadows and ancient curses. His journey began in the twilight of the Pyrenees, where the echoes of Roland's horn still lingered in the wind. There, he met an old hermit, a man with eyes that held the wisdom of centuries. The hermit spoke of a prophecy, a warning of a darkness creeping across the land, a darkness that could only be vanquished by a descendant of Charlemagne. Eudes felt a cold dread seep into his bones. Was he the chosen one? The hermit's cryptic words sent shivers down his spine. He was no warrior like Roland, no cunning strategist like Nemo. Yet he was compelled to follow the path laid out before him. His quest led him through treacherous mountains, across vast plains, and into the heart of the ancient forests. He faced monstrous creatures, remnants of a forgotten age, their eyes burning with a malevolent intelligence. He battled rival warlords, men who sought to exploit the empire's weakness for their own gain. And always the shadow of Ganelon, the treacherous peer, loomed over him, a constant reminder of the evil that could fester within the highest circles of power. In the bustling city of Paris, a city that had risen from the ashes of countless wars, Eudes sought the help of a learned scholar, a woman said to possess knowledge of the ancient tongues. Her name was Eleanor, and her eyes held a spark of defiance that matched his own. Together, they deciphered cryptic clues, piecing together the fragments of the prophecy. The trail led them to the ruins of an ancient abbey, a place steeped in mystery and despair. There they discovered a hidden chamber, its walls adorned with strange symbols. At its center, a stone pedestal held a single, ornate book. As Eudes reached out to touch it, the chamber shook, and the walls seemed to close in around them. A voice, deep and resonant, echoed through the chamber. "You seek the secrets of power, young man," it said, the words carried on the wind like a chilling whisper. "Beware the price you must pay." As the chamber plunged into darkness, Eudes and Eleanor were left alone, their hearts pounding with fear and anticipation. They had found the chronicle, but at what cost? The journey had just begun, and the shadows were closing in. The chamber was plunged into an abyssal darkness, the only sound their ragged breaths echoing in the confines of the ancient stone. A cold dread crept into Eudes' heart as he reached out, his fingers trembling. The book was warm to the touch, its leather cover soft and yielding. As he opened it, a beam of ethereal light illuminated the chamber, revealing intricate script in an unknown language. Eleanor, her eyes wide with wonder and fear, leaned closer. The script was ancient, a language lost to time. They spent days deciphering the cryptic text, their minds stretched to their limits. The chronicle was a map, not just to hidden treasures but to the very soul of the empire. It spoke of a power source, a relic imbued with the essence of Charlemagne himself, capable of uniting the fractured kingdom. But the chronicle also warned of a dark force, a shadow that had been growing in the corners of the empire. A force that sought to harness this power for its own sinister ends. And it seemed that the chronicle was not merely a guide, but a beacon, drawing this darkness towards them. Their journey took them to the frozen north, to the land of the Vikings, where legends of ancient gods and monstrous creatures still held sway. There they faced a dragon, its scales as black as night, its eyes burning with an unnatural fire. The creature was a guardian, a protector of an ancient secret, a secret that was intertwined with the chronicle's prophecy. With every step, the stakes grew higher. The empire was on the brink, and they were the only ones who could save it. Yet, with each victory, a new challenge emerged. The darkness was closing in, its tendrils reaching out to corrupt the hearts of men. Old allies turned against them, and even those they trusted began to show signs of a sinister influence. Eudes and Eleanor were caught in a whirlwind of betrayal, deception, and mortal peril. Their love for each other was their only anchor in a world gone mad. As they delved deeper into the mystery, they realized that the true enemy was not a tangible force, but a corrupting influence that had seeped into the very fabric of society. The final confrontation would take place in Rome, the heart of the old empire. There, in the shadow of the Colosseum, they would face the ultimate test, a battle not just for the kingdom, but for the soul of humanity. The fate of the empire rested on their shoulders, and as they stood on the precipice of destiny, they knew that there was no turning back. Rome, the eternal city, stood as a spectre of its former glory. Its crumbling grandeur mirrored the state of the empire. As Eudes and Eleanor stepped from the dusty road into the city, they were met with a cacophony of sounds: the cries of vendors, the clanging of blacksmiths, and the undercurrent of a city on edge. Rumors of their coming had preceded them. A descendant of Charlemagne, armed with the secrets of the past, was a dangerous proposition. The city was a powder keg, and any spark could ignite a conflagration. Their destination was the Colosseum, a haunting relic of a time when men fought for blood sport. Now, it was said to be the heart of the darkness that gripped the empire. As they approached, the air grew heavy with an oppressive silence, broken only by the echo of their footsteps. Inside, the Colosseum was a labyrinth of shadows. The once glorious arena was now a breeding ground for despair. At its center, a figure stood cloaked in darkness. This was the Shadow, the embodiment of the evil that had plagued the empire. The battle was a clash of wills, a duel of light against darkness. Eudes and Eleanor fought with a courage born of desperation. They were outnumbered, outmatched, but their spirits were unyielding. The chronicle's knowledge guided their every move, and Eleanor's wisdom was their shield against the enemy's dark magic. The battle raged for what felt like an eternity. The Colosseum trembled as if the earth itself was in agony. When at last the darkness was vanquished, the dawn broke, casting its golden light on the shattered remains of the evil. Exhausted but triumphant, Eudes and Eleanor stood amidst the ruins. The empire was saved, but at a terrible cost. The road to rebuilding would be long and arduous. Yet, as they looked out at the dawn, a new hope ignited within them. They were the architects of a new era, an era of unity and strength. And so the legend of Eudes began, a legend born from the ashes of the old empire. He was more than a king, he was a symbol of hope, a beacon in the darkness. And by his side, Eleanor, the wise and courageous woman, stood as his equal, their love a testament to the enduring power of the human spirit.